Akshay and the District 98 to 98 team to organizing this such event and giving this opportunity. So I'm really love to share my experience and my learnings with any Toastmaster, or it could be Toastmaster or non-Toastmaster. We should share our knowledge and then people will evolve. So let me share my presentation first. Hope you can see my screen.
Yes, we can.
Okay, so today we are going to talk about visualizing and designing flyers, specifically about how to make appealing flyer, eye-catching flyer. When it comes to, since most of you are club VPPRs, and I got to know that this is maybe your first time performing as a VPPR for the district and for the clubs. So let me go through what is the agenda, like what are the things in the presentation today in the session. So we will talk about what is the flyer and what is flyer basically, and then we'll talk about the audience and then how to use images, and then I will share some examples what I have done in the past, and I will share some few tips with you. I think those could benefit for your future journey as a VPPR. So let me ask a question, like you can type it in the chat box as well. What is a flyer for you? What it's mean for you? So these are the few flyers I made in the past. So just tell me, like, yes, it's for communication. Any other answers? It's branding and invitation, promote product. Yes. Creative way to share your words. Of course, information of event, visual expressions. Great. So basically, in Toastmasters, we learn to improve our communication and leadership skills, also our public speaking skills as well. So flyer is also a communication method, like Megan shared. So it's kind of a static content. Flyer is a static content, which is used to communicate our message to our stakeholders. So who are the stakeholders? The party or a parties whose interest about us. So when it comes to a Toastmaster club, your member is your stakeholder. Maybe your potential member, we call them as a guest, also our stakeholder. District leadership, they also our stakeholders. General public, other media, they also our stakeholders. So fly is a static content we use to communicate our message to those stakeholders. So then what is the purpose of a flyer? Can I see any answers? Why we are using flyers? What is the aim of that? Right. Our aim is to provide promotional, like I saw few shared about this thing. Provide promotional, informative content, maybe about the benefits of Toastmasters, achievements, and maybe to notify upcoming events to our stakeholders, like I mentioned before. So now we know what is flyer. We use to communicate with our stakeholders, and the purpose is to share information with them. So let me share. Now, as a VPPR, in my case, when I try to create a flyer, I always wanted to create the greatest flyer. Always I hope you also trying to create the greatest flyer all the time when you are creating, because you want to be unique and you want to make a great flyer. So there are 4 elements I could say it should be when it comes to a great flyer. So now, if I share, now we all are in a social media era. So from morning to night, night to morning, we scroll down, right, through social media day by day. But are we only doing scrolling down? No. So when scrolling down, if something is something eye-catching, then we will stop there. So first element is your flyer should be eye-catching. So if it is eye-catching, then only people will stop scrolling. So then first thing is to your flyer should be a eye-catching if it is a great flyer. And then it should be that it should reach to your target audience. So imagine like if you are from a Toastmaster, but the flyer is really eye-catching, but it is relevant to, let's say, like for sports or any other occupation. It is not relevant. If it is not relevant to you, what you do? You will scroll down again. So number one is eye-catching, and then it should target to the audience. And the third point is it should have the information. Like I shared, it should communicate a message. The flyer should tell a story to the audience. If yes, we know now the audience, we targeted to the audience, it reached to the relevant audience. Now that audience should get some message through the flyer. It should be informative. And the fourth one is it should convincing. So through your content, through your flyer, you should influence your audience. So in that case, in a flyer, you have to tell them what you need to do next. So let me show one flyer I made when I was the VPPR. So when you see this, you can see like it's kind of eye-catching because uh, in this flyer, you can see some sort of achievement of a Toastmaster, and this typically target for the Toastmasters, not for others. So Toastmasters uh, will see this as a Toastmasters achievement. So if you are a Toastmaster, then you will realize that this Toastmaster has achieved educational achievement in Toastmasters pathway. And if you know about the pathway, then you will understand that there are 5 levels, and this Toastmaster has completed level 2. And you will get to know the name of these Toastmasters and what's the club of that Toastmasters in the bottom as well. So your eyes will go from the bigger wording, the congratulation, that means something has achieved. Then you will realize those important things. Then if you really want to see the more details, then you will see the pathway, what is the pathway name, and then you will see the who is the mentor of that member. And if you can notice the circle divided into 5 sections, and then 2 sections colored in a different color, like the blue color. I could have used the blue for the whole thing and gray for the other thing, but it will not convey the message that she has completed level 2. So color selection also you have to consider about selecting colors. Now, if you consider about the bottom part, the square ones, there are 20 squares, four representing one level. So now she has completed level 2. So 8 has colored into blue, and then the level 3 loading, the next level is loading. So I have colored in them as a gray, another 8 squares as white. So there are a lot of information, but less text there. So you can communicate many information using those some sort of bullet points or maybe some sort of elements and everything. But no need to have lot of text in your flyers. And this is convincing that people will realize that this Toastmaster has achieved level 2. And then let me talk about the target audience. So now we talk about the eye-catching and convey your message, information and everything. But like I said, it should reach to your target audience. So imagine you are scrolling down, and if you see some flyer from a club, what's the first question to your mind? What's it in for me, right? So you will see, like, is this relevant to me? Can I get something from that? These are the common questions comes to our mind. So always you need to understand your audience, since you are a VPPR or the TRMs in your districts, in your divisions. So first you need to understand your audience. So maybe the age group, because I hope you understand there are generational gaps, and maybe age group we have to uh, reshape our content according to their age group. And it could be the gender, because gender, you can make it a generic, applicable for all genders, or else you can make it for the genders. And also you need to understand their educational background or the geographical areas. So now, since most of district 98 people are from West India, I got to know that. Is that right? So sometimes, like, let's say if you are creating a content for that part of the world, some content may not relevant to, let's say, the European market, or else the Australian market, likewise. So you need to first understand your audience, and the next thing is you need to address to their emotions. So you you have to create a content, but if your content is not matching to your target audience emotion, then you won't get the desired result. So you need to make sure that you need to address that their emotion. So once you connect to them, connect to their emotion, it's like you are having a string of with your audience. So then you can control them. So the third point is, in your flyer there should be a call to action. That means you have to encourage your audience to engage. So it could be like, sign up now, or mark your calendar, register now, wish him or wish her achievement, or maybe a comment or share. Some sort of call to action should be there. If that is the if you miss that, then they will see it, then just appreciate it, and then scroll down. That's the behavior, natural behavior. So you should have a call to action. If that's so, then that person will engage with your content. If that is continuously happening, then they will follow you. Then you can build your own brand, like that is maybe that for your club brand, or maybe for your division or the district. Likewise, you have to create that engagement with your audience through your flyers. Right. Any questions up to now? Or you can just uh, drop a chat, or else you can unmute and ask any questions. So let's move to the next slide. So they are,
I have a question to ask.
yes,
Yes,
you
I'm
are
Balbir
miss.
Singh.
Yes, go ahead.
You have shown that picture. You have shown that picture of the girl,
Yes,
and there are two parts which have been covered with blue color. Any specific reason it has been covered from the left side? Because generally we go clockwise.
yes,
Just a thought came to my mind. Uh, we go the clockwise way from the upper, the higher region, and then we do that. Any particular reason it was done in this manner?
yes. So the reason is, if I start from, like, let's say, like her head level, around like her face level, then you won't see the completion, since she's middle, she's placing in just middle of that portion. So that's why I started from the bottom and went like a clockwise. That is also clockwise, but I started from the bottom.
From the bottom. Yes, yes, yes. Right. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay.
This is not a question, but I am extremely surprised with the kind of thoughtfulness you've put in every bit, you know. Even in the loading, you counted those pieces. That's amazing. And then the circle, where does it start? It's very interesting the way you've thought. The thought process you're sharing is interesting. Please go on. Thank you.
Sure. Thank you so much, Preeti. Okay. So then, yes, like Preeti said, there are so many thought process when you are creating flyers, but my humble advice is less is more, because don't overcomplicate it, because there are many things comes to your head. I have to do this, I have to add that, and there are so much information, but make sure that less is important. You have to focus on the message. Do not distract with elements and other stuff, colors, fonts, anything. Just focus on the message. So what has happened for me as well in the past, like I started to create, let's say I started to create a flyer to maybe to showcase some sort of achievement or maybe a club achievement. But at the end, with all the designs and everything, it is totally different. It's not convey the message to my audience. So first of all, throughout the journey, like when you start to create a flyer and to finish it, have that message. What is the message I am going to communicate to my audience through my flyers? So make sure that have that purpose in your mind. The why is fly, why we are creating this flyer. And the second thing is create a visual hierarchy. So I hope you can understand that. So in a flyer, you should have a strong headline, like it should be catchy. And then you can have a quality picture to attract people, and it will create a uniqueness. And the third one is you can add text, the information if it is necessary. If not, then you can skip it, because since you are going to post these things on a social media, you have the caption section. I will talk about that later. So focus on that aspect. The third one is when you are selecting the headline or the title, it should be descriptive. Because I have seen someone, like, as an example, let's say like ABC Toastmasters Club achieved the presidential distinguish at the district conference happened in 2024. Sometimes the title took the space of 50% of the space in a flyer. So in a title, it should be descriptive and it should be very short and it should be eye-catching. So please make sure that. And the fourth point is color usage. In Toastmasters, there are many colors you can use. I will talk about in the coming slides as well. But don't use every colors. Don't make it as a like rainbow. If we can see the rainbow day and night, we won't get that the value for that rainbow, isn't it? So make sure to use few colors, because the number one is message, not the colors or designs or anything. Number one is the message. That's why we are creating a flyer. So use few colors, but it should be eye-catching. And the last point I can share is use maximum of 2 fonts, because there are 5 fonts we can use in Toastmasters according to the brand manual. But use 2 types of font, but you can use the weight. You can play with the font weights. So it could be like bold, ultra thickness, or semi bold, or maybe extra light, extra thin. Likewise, you can play with the font weights. So that also a different types of fonts for the audience. They won't understand like this is the same font or different font, but you can play with those things. Right. This is like for those things. Yes, this is kind of a sample flyer I am sharing with you. So this is a birthday flyer. So in the birthday flyer, anyone will understand that this is a birthday flyer, because at the very top with larger font, it mentioned as happy birthday. And the picture I selected is some sort of look like member is smiling and he's enjoying. This is kind of since it's a birthday, I use that kind of a picture of that member. And at the bottom right, I have that connection, like asking the audience to connect, add a comment. Likewise, we are connecting, we are asking them to engage with the content. So these are the things. Apart from that, I added few comments as like few text as comments, and these designs came. And also, if someone see this flyer, maybe let's say after week or sometimes, then that person won't comment happy birthday, because he or she will get to know that this birthday happened on particular day. So that's why I put the birthday in a small font. So those are my thought process when creating this birthday flyer. Right, I got few questions. Akshay, may I get those questions? Is the Q&A session, or
Yeah, we
what do you feel?
can take them in the Q&A session.
Sure, okay, right. So now we talk about the font usage and everything. So this is all about the images. So now we are in an era like we all have smartphones. Even we don't have, one of our clubmates should have very good camera phones. So get photos during your meeting and create a photo library, like club photo library. Those photos can be used for your future flyers. So when selecting photos, you have to, it should be not busy or cluttered images, because we need to focus on the message. So the images should convey your message. So if I will show you an example. So this is a photo taken during a meeting, a speaker delivering her speech in front of the audience. Just the photo. Just then you can see how that image converted into a flyer using little bit of text, not much, only the topic and everything. Under the bottom layer, we will share the details about when is the next meeting and everything. But those photos you taken during the meeting could be used for your future flyers. So you do not need to have the DSLR camera or other fancy equipments. Just use your smartphones and use them for your future flyers. And also those flyers will be unique among others, because you are not using any elements or other designs. You are using your own photos to make your next flyer. This is also a similar thing. The same photos we use to what happened during that session. There we mention about the session and did by this particular person, and this is happening this is happened on that day, and the where is happened, and the engagement was there. Likewise, we can use our own photos to create our flyers. And yes, and the next point is, when you are creating flyers, you should consist, because if you are not consistent, like one day you are using different type of elements and different type of colors and everything, and the next second day you are using different types of colors, fonts and everything, the third day you are using different elements, then you cannot build your brand identity. To build your brand identity, you should consist. Then only people, if you build your brand identity, then it will support to build the trust and recognition among your target audience. So but as a VPPRs, you do not need to worry about the consistency, because from Toastmasters International, they have created the brand manual. I hope you all know about the brand manual. So they have given us specific colors and fonts. If I may ask about a question, how many colors we can use for our content according to the brand manual? 5, 3. Any other answers? 6, 5. 5. Okay. Not more than 10. Is that right? Okay, 3 primary and 1 nascent. Good. Okay. If I say there are 12 colors you can use, will you surprise? So in Toastmasters, yes, there are 3 primary colors you can use: true maroon, loyal blue, and cool gray. Those are the 3 primary colors you can use. And 1 accent color, which is happy yellow, to highlight things, to showcase the highlight things in your flyers. And other 2 colors is white and black. Those are mainly to white is there to have the white space, and black is there to have like for the text, basically for presentation or maybe email communications. Even for the flyers, for the text, you can use black. But please make sure that your primary colors are true maroon, loyal blue, and cool gray. Those colors also communicating values of Toastmasters, like you can see in the brand manual as well: leadership, dedication, and empowerment. So if you create your flyers majorly like using those 3 colors, then people, your target audience, will realize that these flyers, these contents from Toastmasters. So now you have 3 colors, 1 accent colors, black and white, 6 colors. And there are 3 gradients you can use. From loyal blue to blissful blue, you will create 1 color. Likewise, for maroon you will have, and then you will have a gray gradient as well. Now, when it comes to the transparency, you will have 3 transparency as well. So specifically 3 transparency you can use. So now altogether there are 12 colors. As a VPPR, even now, even I am hearing from all the VPPRs, we do not have much colors to play with. From brand manual, they are restricting our creativity and all. There are so many complaints about brand manual, and they want to deviate from that. But you have to understand that there are 12 colors you can play with Toastmasters brand guidelines. And there are 5 fonts also you can play with Toastmasters. So Gotham and Montserrat you can use as a headings, and Myriad Pro, Sosan 3, now they call as Sosan 3, and Arial for as a secondary font in the body. So you do not need to, since we are a professional organization, that's why we have those professional fonts, not cursive fonts, because we are a professional organization, Toastmaster. That's our fonts, our communication, it should reflect our organization. So these are the 5 fonts you can use. Now let me share a few tips with you. After that, I will share some examples like what I have done in the past. So number 1, for all the VPPRs, you do not have to be a great to start. You have to start to be great. So because if I share my journey, I was not a designer when I was appointed as the VPPR. The past VPPR of the club, he taught me about this wonderful tool called Canva. And afterwards, I did study and I did research. I went through a lot of YouTube videos. Then I understood how to play with those elements and everything. Then I found my way to express my creativity. So number 1 is your commitment, and you do not need to be a designer. Just just express yourself using those free online. You can use if you are a designer, if you are good at Photoshop or Illustrator, you can use it, no problem. But if you are not a designer, you want to express your creativity, Canva is there. It's a free tool. In District 82 also we have some templates I will share. after the session with Akshay, so he will share with you. And if you want to do designs from Microsoft PowerPoint, also there are 2 sessions done by our own dedicated to Toastmaster in the past. I will share those links with you as well. And if you are good at Photoshop, Illustrator, no problem, use them. But if you are very new, Canva is very user-friendly tool, and it's online. You can use it from anywhere. And the third one is, yes, like I said, study, research, and have that curiosity. Always eager to learn new stuff. Do some experiments. Work with others. Get some ideas from others. These are the few tips. And the other point is be consistent. Like I said, consistent about what you are doing. Always have that enthusiasm. It could be like, I have seen like people like the VPPRs, they in the initial months, they work hard to do flyers and to submit for the recognition, the awards and everything. If they don't get, they will get disappointed. No, first enjoy yourself. Like, this is my journey, I am going to enjoy it. And I will express my creativity. I will use to improve my creativity, my communication skills and everything. So first enjoy yourself, then other awards and recognition will follow you. And the next point is stay up to date. So since you are into social media and everything, just up to date what's happening around the world, what are the trends. If you can incorporate those trends into your content, then people will pick uh, just as it is. So, and also if there are any like new creations, maybe in Pinterest or maybe in other community things, like since I am a very cricket fan, so I follow a few cricket pages in Facebook and other Instagram. So I see there are new creations, so I try to incorporate those into my next content as well. And the word layout, yes, sometimes I have seen like, for me it is very hard to read some word if it is vertical, but if it is horizontal it's easy for me, but it could be different for others. So first you need to understand your target audience. If it is like from a very old generation like me, we used to read as a horizontal, but it could be different to your audience. So if your audience pick it, then you can go ahead. And the dimension, so if you are targeting for Instagram, it should be 1:1 ratio, because otherwise your the whole flyer won't display in Instagram. If it is story, then you have to change the dimension. So you have to decide where I am going to post this, and then you have to select the dimensions and also the balance of the flyer. I will share those in coming presentation slides as well. And the final part is the caption, because yes, we will create flyers, we will create posters like this, and then but we have the space in the caption section as well. So we are going to post it on social media. It could be uh, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, or else WhatsApp as well. You have the space for the caption. So in the caption, you can include all the most important detail, all the registration links and other details and everything. And also you need to make sure that that caption also should be catchy. Otherwise, people won't read it. Like if you add whole paragraph there and with your flyer, people will attract your flyer, but they won't take the next decision from your flyer. So those are the things you need to consider. Right. These are the concepts I developed as a VPPR in the past. So this created around like 2020, 2021, when the Avengers Infinity War happened. So there was a like Thanos blip happen, and all the superheroes went away, right? So then that inspired me, and I wanted to do the same thing in a flyer. So I came up with this executive committee. This published on the 30th June. This was their last day as executive committee. I wanted to thank them, and like it's like they are blipping away, and the next expo is coming likewise. So luckily I had those very colorful pictures of those expo members because we taken those photos during their installation. So I used them and it was meshed to the Toastmasters brand colors as well. So that is one concept thought process behind. Now when it comes to this flyer, so what is the first thing you will see in this flyer?
The picture.
Yes. Since all the other corners, the four corners are really dark because those are gray color. But the moment you see this flyer, your eyes will go to the middle part of the flyer and the yellow color. Then you will see the unleash your inner chatterbox, that part. Then you will get to know that you will see the Toastmasters logo from left top as well as in the right top of the content as well. So then you will realize that this is related to Toastmasters. And then the third point is you will see the join us. They are requesting you to join. So then if you are really interested, you are really keen to attend, then you can see the other meeting details as well and the contact details as well. So likewise, you can use your creativity to direct your audience to your desired goal. And these are, since now all the contest is happening, the humorous and evaluation contest happening, I want to share few contest flyers. So one is that the left one, the humorous speech one, I inspired from, like I said, from cricket page. I inspired from that, and then I incorporated that concept into Toastmasters. By that time, this concept was new, really new for the Toastmasters, and many reached to me and they appreciated me. But lesser they known that this is, I also get inspired from different community. And also for the other part as well, I did not get color photos of all the contestants. I got few photos, not like the other posts. You can see the humorous speech contest. I got few colorful photos, but for the others, I didn't get. So I use them to corner them into both corners, and then use the half of their part uh, for my flyer. So with the photo, you have to decide where to place them and where to place. Likewise, right. This is a Canvas style flyer. So we all love to sneak into other conversations, isn't it? So likewise, if we see a screenshot of others' conversation, we love to read it what's in there, right? So that was the inspiration. So when someone see this flyer, they will forget everything. They will read what's in there. Some screenshot has here, isn't it? So they will read it, and then they will understand that, okay, this is some sort of a Toastmaster flyer. And then it will create the curiosity. I need to know more details about this organization and what is this Toastmasters. So then we direct that Toastmasters to more details about Toastmasters of the organization and everything. And then the action part, call to action, contact details of the BPPR and the club president by that time. So those are the concept I had like in the Canvas style. This is also another concept we created. Like I wanted to share the benefits of Toastmasters to the audience. Instead of sharing these are the benefits, these are the features of Toastmasters, like Canvas style I use, where the audience will realize, okay, the same thing has happened to me in the past. I need to improve my communication skills, so I need to improve my presentation skill. Okay, seems like Toastmaster is a option for that. Likewise, you can be creative to convey your message in a different way. Now, these are some brand compliant flyer. You can see in 2 flyers, we play with the gradients, mostly with the gradients. Like it shouldn't be like from uh, light blue to dark blue. You can play with those gradients, make those elements, and you can use to communicate message. When you see the flyer, you will understand, okay, this is the achievement, or this is the thing going to happen on particular day, where and how to register for this stuff. So when you are placing those text font size, when you are playing with font sizes, you have to careful what are the things your audience should attract most. And this is for an online meeting. If you are from an online club, you can use them. Like you can take pictures when you meet them in a one day, but you can take screenshots and share the data in the flyer, and without much text or without much information, but you can share more information. So those are the thought process behind that. And if there are any like team intro, you can use like these kind of things like sergeant at arms, extended arms. So that means like extended team introduction. So sergeant at arms in the middle, and other 4 extended team members are there. Likewise, this is also created for a meeting flyer. So for that meeting, area director is coming, area director's official visit is happening, and the Toastmaster of the day and the general evaluate is there. So I use all 3 to communicate, like without telling area director is coming. This is some sort of a way that area director is coming without telling area director is coming, but communicating that is coming. So we need to be prepared, and all the details are there. And in here, what is the most appealing flyer for you? Left one or the right one? The gray one or the colorful?
Left.
The gray one.
Gray one. Right one. Left. Yes. So it could be different to person, right? So if you understand your target audience, then you can play with the colors. Like I share those flyers with few people. Like if you have a doubt, just change the color. It won't take much time. Just change the color and share with maybe with few other members and ask what is most appealing to you. If like majority of them selecting one flyer, then you can go ahead with that. One particular comment I got for the left one, it's dull for them. If since it's kind of an achievement, it should convey the energy. Likewise, so that is one thought process. But for some, they feel the darker one is more appealing for them. So you can play with colors. And this is also another flyer. The same flyer, same content, but I changed the colors. So we posted one one in one day, and after 3 or 5 days we posted other same content, same design and everything, but I changed the colors. But I get two different comments, two different comments from the audience, because sometimes some people they attract to red, the maroon color, or some others may attract to the blue color. So you have to play with colors and see the your audience behaviors, and then you can take decisions for your future contents as well. And here, without sharing these are the things going to happen in our conference, and these are the things you can get. You can use icons for your flyers. Small icons will convey, uh, share many information. So there are only 6, and below there are three icons as well. So people will get the message without uh, adding more text into the flyers. They will get to know that, okay, these are the things we can witness during the conference, or maybe during the meeting, like guys. So you can play with the icons as well. Right, these are from my end, and I would like to summarize, and after that I will take up the Q&A session. So to summarize, first you need to understand your audience, their behaviors, their patterns and everything, and then make sure that less is more. Don't overcomplicate it with elements, colors and everything. Focus on the message, and you do not have to be a great to start to be great. So start from today onwards, do research, work on that, have that enthusiasm, enjoy your journey. And the other point is color play. You can play with colors like I showed you. Some colors may appeal into your audience, some may not. So if you can understand that, throughout the year you can use particular colors for your content, because the most important thing is your audience. And the next part is the consistency. So you have to consistent throughout the year, throughout your PR journey. Then people will understand, and then you can build your brand identity. It could be for your district, or maybe for a division, or maybe your club, even for yourself. When people see a flyer, then they will at the end of the day they will understand that this flyer has created by this person. Likewise, you have to build your brand identity. And experiment, don't afraid to do experiment. So share, like if you are a VPPR, if you are reluctant to do experiment, just have a chat with your president. I want to do those experiment, and get his support as well. And then do your experiment within brand guidelines, because we are in an organization. So we are so lucky to play with this brand, like almost 100 years old brand. If you are into corporates, you do not allow to play with the brands. Usually you sign agreement with the organization, and if you violate those things, you may lose your job as well. But we are really lucky as VPPRs, as PR personnel, to play with this wonderful brand. So protect the brand. Within the brand compliance, I shared few suggestions for you as well. If you are creative enough, you can do miracles. Right. That's all from my end. I hope I could share some valuable information to you. Now, if you have any questions, you can ask.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Exceptionally
Chamodit.
talented.
It was a wonderful session. Now, there are a lot of questions which has come up in the chat. All right. So what I'll do is I'll ask you one by one and we can take them. Meanwhile, anyone else who has any questions, you can post them in the chat. In case if it is not covered, we shall take it. All right. So the very first question which was there is, what kind of different design formats we can use for the flyer? Chamodit did mention that for Instagram, you have different design formats. One is the 1:1 and the other one. But this question was particularly asked from different platforms as well as in general. So what would be your...
Right. So when it comes to Instagram, it should be always eye-catching, because in Instagram you post photos, eye-catching content, right? But when it comes to Facebook, it could be bit different. Like we can share more information, like more text in Facebook compared to the Instagram. If you go to the LinkedIn, that is totally different platform where we share professional achievements, corporate achievements likewise. But when it comes to WhatsApp, mostly about text and everything, like WhatsApp, or else if you go to a Twitter, if you are using the, now they call as X, so it is more like to characters. So you have to understand the platform first. Based on that, you need to understand that those audience is different. Even though, like, if I am in LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, when I go to those social media channels, I am a totally different person, because if I go to Instagram, I am not going to see any professional achievements, right? But if I go to let's say LinkedIn, I am not going to search any models or any uh, fancy dresses or anything, right? So we have to understand that people will people will see different content in a different platforms. I hope I answered the question.
Thank you, Chamodit. Let's take up the next question. All right. Someone has asked, what kind of proportion should be used in font size? Is it something randomly selected, or do we need to figure out based on our experience? What would be your response to this?
Yes. So first, you need to understand what the message you are going to communicate. That the purpose of the creating the flyer. So that message, that should be the main thing you need to consider when you are selecting font sizes. So if it is relevant to the message and particular thing, then use as the biggest uh, text in within your flyer, within your content, and then you can reduce it one by one based on the priority. If it is less priority, like in the, let's say, like in a meeting flyer, if you are introducing the speaker's bio in a lengthy way, you can make it as in a small letters, because if someone is really interested about the speaker, then they will read it. But if you make it in a bigger font without adding the register now, or the meeting details in a smaller one, then people won't register, right? So we want them to register. So use, like, the major thing should be the biggest one, and then one by one you can reduce the font size. But after sometimes you will understand those things, like after by your experience you will understand those things.
Thank you, Chamodit. One of the suggestions came from the chat is you should observe the products around you and see how the different text is written on them. Different products all around, you will figure it out, how the text hierarchy and how to choose the fonts. There was one more question as to how we can select the font weights in Canva. Would you like to take that up?
Yes. In Canva, you go to Montserrat. I think I can share. Can anyone share the let me see if I can share
Yeah.
my Canva.
Yes.
In Canva, yes, there are, like, if you go to the font, left corner, you will see an arrow If you click it, then you can see the semi-bold, extra bold, extra thin, and all the weights is there in Canva. I will share a screenshot with Akshay. So Akshay, hope you can share with others.
Sure. Thanks, Shamodit. So just there was a follow-up question is that you can definitely use all kinds of font weights. The only idea is that the font family should be as defined in the brand manual or the alternatives suggested. Next query is, can we use clip art or pictures from the internet in the poster?
Clip art, when it comes to the Toastmasters, they specifically mention that we cannot use clip arts. And for icons, there is no problem. You can use icons. But if it is relevant to your message, if it is not like you can't use all the icons in the world in a flyer. But if it is relevant, if you want to convey the message, then you can use those icons. And clip arts, yes, you cannot use. And the photographs from Google or somewhere else, it should be copyright free, because we are representing an organization. So if we use others' content without pay, if you are paying the copyright, then no problem. But if you are not paying and if you are taking others' intellectual properties, then organization, the people will share their criticism on the organization. It could be like they might sue the organization, and as a VPPR, you won't get any punishment or anything, because this is kind of a volunteer organization, but organization brand, and they have to face many cases. So therefore, please make sure that if you want to get photographs from the internet, it should be copyright free. There are many websites as well. I can share those also. But my advice is use your own members' photos. Since a majority of E98 from India, you should have that Indian flavor in your flyers. Like, let's say, like if we are using European or USA or OC people, that won't connect with your audience. If you're targeting for that region, that's okay. But if you're targeting for your particular region, it should be more flavor from your region.
Thank you, Shamadit. There is one more, couple of more questions. We'll quickly go through them. So what is a good place to find copyright-free images? I believe you can quickly answer this.
Yes, in Canva also you can get copyright-free images, as well as Unflash is another website you can get copyright-free. And also you can search for copyright-free, like I will share a few links where you can download those pictures.
The next question was, in online meetings, what kind of pictures we can select? For example, if our club is an online club, how to get pictures?
Yes, that's the same question I had when the COVID pandemic happened. We all connected through online. By that time, it's very difficult to get photos through like interactive photos through the screen, right? But you can ask members to take the photographs in their homes and share with you, like maybe some gestures or something, like some engaging content. Then you can incorporate those pictures to your future flyers. But also in the when the meeting is happening, you have to take screenshot. That also another part of your job as a VPPR. You have to take screenshots during the meeting when a speaker performing. Then you can use them for your future content as well. I will share one picture, one flyer I share. So you can. I hope I answered the question. You can ask the next question as well.
Sure. All right. The next question is, there are a couple of questions that clip arts and cartoons from Canva, can we use them? Yes or no?
Clip arts and cartoons. No, you can't use, according to the brand manual, brand guideline, you cannot use clip arts or cartoons into your Toastmasters content, because we are a professional organization. We build communicators and leaders. Sometimes cartoons not reflect what we are doing, what our organization is. So they specifically mention you cannot use illustrations, cartoon, and clip arts into your contents.
There was one common question by a lot of members. The flyers which you showed today, are all of them made on Canva, or did you use some other software to generate them?
All of those created through Canva, free account, not pro account.
All right, thank you. There is the next question. What kind of resources you recommend to see or be inspired from apart from seeing others' posters? Anything which you think can help us?
I didn't get you. Can you repeat the question?
Yeah. Do you have any resources you can recommend to work through for tips or inspirations besides seeing other members' posters?
Yes. So one recommendation is you do not like, if you want to be unique, you can, yes, follow your other club, the same region clubs, to get to know what's happening around. Like you can understand your competitors basically. But if you want to get new stuff, you can follow other districts, other regions, and not only Toastmasters. You can follow, if you are a sports fan, then you can follow, like if you are a football fan or a cricket fan, then you can follow those. And also in the Pinterest is a one good resource platform where you can get inspired. And also Instagram, also another place you can get inspired. Those are the things I
Thank
can
you.
share.
Chamali, this question has come up. The conversation style flyer which you showed, wherein you had the phone, right? In that, the phone background was a different color. Is it something which is allowed, or how do we differentiate as per the branding guidelines?
Yes, that is like, I am not creating anything. No, I am taking a screenshot. So if you are taking a screenshot, or maybe you are taking a photo of something, then you can sneak through those brand guidelines, since you are not creating anything. So it's kind of a screenshot. There is no problem. So I have shared one flyer I made for, like, through using the what you call the online meeting. But I am not recommending you to use, because I have majorly used the black and yellow. So that same thing was inspired through the comic books, like that during that period when I am creating, the Amazing Spider-Man was happening. So I use that Amazing Toastmaster thing and kind of a comic books. So, but I am not recommending you to use the yellow and black as the major colors. That's the only issue there. But others, likewise, you can use.
All right. So there was a question wherein mobile phone pictures can be used. If you are taken a screenshot, as Chamadit mentioned, you can go ahead and use the mobile phone in the flyer. One more question was, for example, we saw the flyer which you created with the girl pointing out two, right? So was it intentional that she has completed 2 levels, so you asked her to select that kind of picture, or
No.
was it something random which happened?
Yeah, that picture I think taken 2 or 3 months back. So, but luckily, like, one suggestion for you: when you are meeting, just take some portraits, like with some hand gestures, like this, or maybe some, like if you are speaking to someone, like you are delivering a speech. Likewise, take some photos of your members. So then, based on the content, you can select those photos. So if you have like 30 members, you can have like 3 or 4 poses among those. So then you can play with.
All right. There is last 2 questions. First, what is the difference between a physical and a digital flyer? Do
What
we
is the
create difference between the making physical and digital flyers? What kind of differences do you foresee or you have experienced?
right? Physical means, I think they are talking about posters or some newsletter stuff, right? So in digital, we are not, we feel even like it's in digital and the physical, we think that in digital we are not feeling, but I feel that we are feeling the same because we in the fingertips we feel the content, right? But I, as a person, I am not seeing it much difference between the digital and printed one. If it is eye-catching, if it is addressing to the target audience, and if it is convey the message, and if it is telling the story, I don't see a difference between the printed one and the digital one. Maybe if you are, let's say, like if you are creating a newsletter or some sort of a leaflet or the communicate the benefits of Toastmasters, first page should be eye-catching, and other parts you can have the text and everything if it is printing. But sometimes if it is digital, even though there are many text, we are not ready to like we are not ready to read out many text, right? So yes, that's the difference I can say, but generally I don't see a difference between.
Thank you, Chamudit. Last question for the day. Is it necessary that whatever we are adding in the caption needs to be designed on the flyer?
No, no need, because that is also a beauty. Flyer, you will have you like if you are convey the message, you will get two flyers basically. One is for the caption, and other one is for the flyer, the design. So what I told the VPPR extended team, what was the first exercise I gave to them, like when I create flyers before posting, I appointing someone to create the caption itself. Now with the chat GPT and all the AI tools, you can create the caption, but it should connect, like it should convey the emotions to your target audience. So caption also, I could say, another flyer, another message you are convey to your audience. So yes.
Thank you, Chamudit. I believe that were all the questions. If any questions I have missed or you have any more questions, I will share my email. You can drop the queries mentioning that you want this to be addressed by Chamudit. I'll get them addressed. But before we conclude the session, right, I am launching a quick poll. Would love to hear your feedback, would love to hear what kind of takeaway you have taken back from this session. All right. And what you are looking forward to learn from future PR sessions over here. So quick poll, you can take it on your screen and answer it. And before we exit, we'll also take a quick group picture because we all are VPPRs and most of us are PR enthusiasts who love to ensure that we have a good picture. So let us quickly answer the poll and then we can begin to take a picture. Meanwhile, I would request all of us to be on camera if possible. If not possible, it is okay, but I would still request each and every one of us to come on camera. All right, I see 7 participants have already answered the poll. Looking forward to see all of you respond to the poll. The poll will be active. Meanwhile, let's quickly capture a group picture. All of us on camera. Yes. All right, we have 40 people, 40 PR enthusiasts, eager or to say PR learners. Let's all be here. Smiling faces on a Thursday evening.
Thank you very much for your session.
Thank you. Before we end the day, the final thing, a few words for Toastmaster Chamudit. Toastmaster Chamudit, thank you for being here. Thank you for sharing the thought process which you put into creating various flyers. I saw members were eagerly asking queries based on those thought process. That is what I had visualized from this session. If you can share how the visualization aspect comes into play and that anyone can go about it. So thank you for doing the same and thank you for being with us here. We had almost 60 people joining us who were eager to learn and had valuable insights from your session. This is a small token of appreciation from District 98. Please, let's have a round of applause for Toastmaster Chamodit. I would request someone who can take a snapshot with the same and do share with the DPRN team later on so that we can utilize the same. All the members who asked whether the recording shall be shared, yes, the recording shall be available. Please stay tuned to District 98 social media handles. Thank you. I hope someone clicked the snapshot. With this, we shall conclude for the evening, but I'm still waiting for the poll. There are around 20 people who have responded. Meanwhile, Chamodit, if you would like to interact with our audiences, it is open. Over to you. I see Vamsi has raised a hand. I'll stop the recording and we can have the discussion going on.